Oi, oi. Hi everyone, I'm Will from Will's Electrical Services, also known as the Midfield General. Welcome back to another episode. In tonight's episode, what I want to do is I want to demonstrate and show you my KNIPEX step cutters. I've had these for over a year and all that. I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with them, but to be honest, I think I'm a bit unfair to them, to be fair, because I've seen quite a few of the other reviews, like eFix, Dan's Tool Room. He's also done a wonderful review of them. But I have a love it. I think personally to myself, I think they're a bit of a specialist tool. And I'll go through all that like throughout the video and all that. But before we get too carried away, if you could do us a massive favour, if you could like, subscribe and turn the notification thing on. Apparently it helps it all grow. Also, I'd like to give a quick shout out to Chris at Tooligans. He's got his own YouTube channel and also is on Instagram at ToolsGalore 2020 or 2010. I'll leave all these details below, but I highly recommend checking out his channel. Who doesn't love a tool channel, eh? Right, anyway, let's get into it. Right, getting into it. When I first got them, I've always traditionally, I've been a Sparks for over 20 years now, and I've always used, first 10 years, I was always a commercial Spark, so we were always using singles. For the first 10, 12 years of my career, I never even touched twin and earth. But I've always traditionally used croppers and all that. And then I was thinking to myself, and I see these, and because they've got like the similar sort of like cutting action to this, and as eFix mentioned in their video, they reckon that it's 40% help in your cutting. But if you look, they've actually got a unique handles on them, and I quite like the look of them. I thought they were, these particular ones are the 95/16 160s. So they're 160s, so they are actually quite small. I've got to be honest, I've not got the biggest hands and all that, so I wouldn't have really bothered. I certainly wouldn't probably go for bigger. So to be fair, if I was to compare these, I'd probably get the smaller ones, which are out in my van. Can't be bothered to go get them. So, but one other good thing which I've noticed on a few others is that if you look in the bottom left-hand corner, see there, I'll bring you up closer anyway, and I'll also do a flyover a few of my others, is that KNIPEX actually put the year that they were I believe it's the year they were manufactured, or it might be the year that they actually brought them out, because I think these come out last year, because I know KNIPEX seem to do a launch every year now of their new tools, and this was in them. So, but I'll be interested to know if any of you know, like the comments and all that, the handles, one of the things I don't like about the handles, which is a bit weird, but obviously I do apologise because I'm always going to refer to them as like these. Also, I've got some other similar ones which are quite close. I've got these ones via KNIPEX and all, and these must be overtaking them, I presume. I don't know. Like, these are like a shear as well, and these are the NWS ones. These are a lot lighter, I tell you. They're a lot lighter than those. I suppose that's probably because that's probably a different type of metal, But yeah, they're very nice, they are. Because one of the things I don't like about these, which you can struggle with twin and earth cables, is that, but even though these are designed mainly for like NYY cable, FP200 and stuff like that, but I'll go through that. I'll even do a demonstration later on. Is that they have these like beak sort of cutting, and where it's serrated there, which is nice. I quite like that. But most of the cutters now have got those, well, these two haven't, but and that is what's supposed to make it easier. But apparently this is the handles that make them 40%. One of the things I did do, because I've used, I do use them quite regularly, because if we do anywhere with using plastic, we're using singles, FP, which where we've done a warehouse, I've done a video, no one watched it, so I put a highlight, someone might want to watch it, of where we used FP, and it's quite handy for FP. But usually with FP, I do use this all-round Jacari, which is absolutely perfect. The only problem is that you can't actually cut the cable, so you end up using two tools anyway. But hey ho, it is what it is. But yeah, going back, one of the things that I find peculiar is with these cutters is that they swing open. So what you find yourself is that you find yourself with your little finger flicking it to cut it, and that's how I operate it. You know, like between those two fingers there, I can use it, and it's quite comfortable. But with this, because the handles are so small and the cutting action, you know, to actually get that in, because usually I would take the cable in the front, I wouldn't slide it in the side. Like, I'll give you a quick demonstration of what I mean. You know, usually you cut a cable or all that, you go straight over the top, don't you? But with this, where the actual cutting surface is so narrow, you find yourself coming in the side, which is a bit weird, really. You know, I was trying to strip that, but then I changed my mind. But you know, they are sharp as anything still. You know, like they are a year old, but I love my tools. I've got a million cutters, so you know, right? They all don't have a real hard life. You know, those. But as I said, it's not apples for apples. But yeah, that is one of the weird things, is that you find yourself having to put your little finger the other side of the handles, which is a bit uncomfortable because I don't really know what to do with that finger there. You know, it's a bit of a weird cutting action, but I did get used to it. I have spent a couple of days second fixing with them. You know, they are beautiful. You know, these are the 1600. I believe from a couple of the other videos that I've watched, I believe that they do the 180 and the 200s. So the 200s, have I got any tools up here with the 200s? That's a 180. They must be 200. Yeah, they're 200. So that, you know, it would be a very peculiar tool. God knows how far you'd have to open the handles, you know, for that, you know, to get the blade fully open. You're going to be like that, aren't you? You know, I know that's not really horses for courses, but just a demonstration, just a little cutter, you know. Are they worth it? I paid 30 quid for them. Like, I actually thought I got them on a deal, but I don't seem to. But I don't know. They do even have a thumb rest there, so I presume you must have to. I don't really get, like, KNIPEX. Well, KNIPEX seem to have that on every one of their tools, but I've never needed that before because I've always used it like that. You know, I don't know, like that. Never really recorded myself doing that before. Yeah, I suppose I hold them like that, don't I? I suppose like that. How do I cut them? Yeah, like that. Just leave it come up, and then with these, like as I was saying, you've really got a really odd, but they are nice and cut. Do they cut well? Yeah. Can you feel it? Dan actually mentions in the video that you can actually feel it. So when you're cutting, I'll get the cable that you're actually supposed to be using for it. Is, look, see, look, this is, look, I won't cut it there because I'll show you on the video, but look, that is a 3-core 1.5 MYY cable, and look how far I have to open them. Look, see how extended they are. It's crazy, eh? Are they nice? Yeah. Would I sell them? No. Would I, you know, that's the other thing, is do you get, that's what I was expecting, what I wanted an absolute dead flat cut, and I thought with those, getting it, you'd get a dead flat, because Gordon on the eFix video, he was using side cutters and you weren't getting them square, and I suppose the crompers are getting them quite square there, but nah. Are they worth having? I don't think so. But it'd be interesting to know your opinion. You know, don't get me wrong. I know this is the second video in a row where I've seemed to be having a go at KNIPEX, and I absolutely love KNIPEX, to be fair. And I don't know, they're just so odd. They're just, I don't think they're worth having just for the difference. And the handles, do you know what the handles remind me of? You know, like Michael Jackson had that tour of that Bad Albums with their legs like that. It just reminds me of that, because they're so different to all their other tools, the handles that they have. You know? But right, only enough a quick episode. I hope you like it. I hope you got something out of it. And don't forget, if you're going to be anything this week, then be electric. Up the old blues, you know.